What if you were like, wow, it's hot out today, and then somebody was like, source? This is kind of how languages with obligatory evidentiality work. Basically what that means is part of the grammar of the language is explaining why you're saying things. For instance, in the South American language Tuyaca, there's a few different ways of saying something like he played, but you can't just say he played. You'd have to say something like I saw him play, or I heard him play, or somebody told me he played. And in languages with mandatory evidentiality, these sources are either like particles or suffixes on the verb, but you have to say them. It's not like in English where you have the option of saying like he said, she said, or I saw, or something like that. In the Parintine language, they even have a dream particle, which marks whether what you were saying was from a dream or not. Evidentiality is basically a way of grammatically holding people accountable for the things they say. You can imagine it would be really important in a society where you really need to trust people. In addition to the he said or I saw or like dream thing, there's a lot of different forms of evidentiality. Some of them are even as specific as I can infer this based on the context. But basically they all have to do with where you're getting your information. It's not required, but when you think about it, it wouldn't be that hard to do this in English either. For instance, if you tell somebody, dang, work was tough today, it can be assumed that it's a first-hand report. But then if you say, oh yeah, they caught that one criminal guy, then it can kind of be assumed that you heard that on the news or something. The main difference is that in English, it's kind of assumed or taken for granted, but in these languages, it's required.